Here we are. How's everybody? I hope everybody's having a really nice day here. We're teeing it up live on YouTube right now. And of course, this fucking Periscope is not working properly. So you might have to, oh my gosh, you might have to go back to the, you might have to zoom ahead maybe 2 minutes here. But I'm planning on trying to get an entertaining show up today, giving my opinions on matters. So I appreciate you guys all taking the time to hang out with me. Okay? And here we go. That's actually going to be better. That's going to be better, okay? Here we go. Thank you guys for coming in. It means a lot. I'm going to read all of your comments here in a second. And I'm just trying to work out my Periscope to get this up and running. But fuck it, I'm actually going to pivot out of my Periscope. Unless this is my saving grace. So, hold on. Let's see if it saves it. Okay. So we're starting the show in 1 minute. I really appreciate you guys coming in. And this is going to be easier too because basically now I'm going to be able to be with you guys for the entirety of this broadcast. So here we go. And I'm also, you know what I'm going to do too, is that I'm going to be able to answer your questions at all times. But I have obviously topics I want to get to. I'm actually going to start out with the most relevant topic first, and then I want to get to the big fucking picture topics. So the first topic I have, and I'm going to pull you guys up right now and answer your questions, is Marcus Williams in the play yesterday. And look, it was a terrible, shitty attempt at a tackle. But acting like this play's a damn miracle is not entirely accurate. I mean, with 10 seconds left, Stephon Diggs was about a foot from the fucking sideline. If he would have been tackled, he would have, once he caught the ball, the Vikings were probably going to end up winning the football game because either Marcus Williams has two things. Either he wraps him up, which Diggs is already leaning towards the sideline. His feet are almost at the damn sideline. So if he gets tackled out of bounds, there's 3 seconds left. Kai Forbath's making that field goal to win the damn game. It's a 30-yard completion with 10 seconds left. There was no safety help there. So the guy was astounded that he caught the ball, didn't want to tackle him out of bounds, and that's probably what happened. He might have froze up. He might have got nervous. They should have attacked the football. They should have only rushed 2 guys in that situation and had 9 people in coverage. Even backup safeties they should have there back in the coverage instead of rushing 4 guys like that. And Case Keenum threw it up and a guy made a fucking play. That's what the Steelers did all day long. I don't get why teams in the NFL, I don't get why they don't take shots down the field more often. Because when you take shots, things happen. And that's what happened yesterday for the Minnesota Vikings. And they took a shot and it happened. If he tackled him out of bounds, they still win the damn game. You know, it's a 1-score game. They couldn't get a first down to kick it at the buzzer. And when you're playing on the road and you're playing in that kind of environment, shit's going to happen. The Jeff Janis catch happened against the Cardinals, the same shit, but nobody gets angry at that Cardinals safety. No one gets angry at them because the Cardinals ended up winning. But if Aaron Rodgers hit that at the buzzer, we'd all be talking about that fucking play. You know, so I'm glad that the Saints fans, you know, are showing Marcus Williams a ton of class. He's had a solid season. It's a one-play scenario. And don't Bill Buckner to shit for this kid and make matters worse, because I assure you he cares about it more than even the fans do. And the Saints fans have really helped him out. You know, Kyle Williams had a similar kind of play happen to him. And it's sad to see. And in this kind of sport, things are going to happen like that. But that's my take on the matter, is that it was very, very difficult for the Saints to make the right play because he caught it damn near on the sideline. Obviously, you want to let the middle of the field wide open. You don't want to let him score. But heck, I would have had 9 guys, and I would have had most of the secondary tilted towards the sidelines. And even I would force a Hail Mary. And I would practice that situation a lot, and I'm sure that they did. And freaky freaky shit's going to happen. And it was a hell of a play by Case Keenum, who I think is having a great season, and he should be the quarterback in Minnesota. There's no reason not. He's proven a lot more than Sam Bradford. Sam Bradford gets hurt every year. Teddy Bridgewater's a question mark, and Teddy had 1 year where he was a game manager, and he was okay, and he was decent. So that's what that's my take on the matter. Now I want to get into the coaching search today, okay? I want to talk, and you know what? I want to go out there, and first I'm going to look at these comments. But first, before I go and try to load up these damn comments, I want to give a big shout out to my friends that are Tennessee Titans fans. And Amy Adams Scrunk, the owner of the Tennessee Titans, Bravo. Hell of a move, a ballsy move after your head coach won a playoff game in Kansas City. Okay, there shouldn't be any hard feelings in football. Marcus Mariota, this offense sucked all year. You benefited from a really, really soft schedule. That's what happened with the Tennessee Titans, okay? The Titans should have lost plenty of games, but they played shit competition and barely survived. You know what happened with the Giants last year? They played the fucking Bears, the Bengals, the Browns, Jeff Fisher, and the Baltimore Ravens, and an Eagles team that was in infancy stage, and everyone thought Ben McAdoo was legit. And guess what happened? They actually played real teams, and they sucked. Okay, Marcus Mariota regressed. Everybody thought he'd have a big year. He regressed. At the end of the season, they showed no signs of life, okay? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers actually went out there and they beat the Saints, and they damn near almost beat Carolina. So that saved Dirk Cutter's job that last couple of weeks, because then Jameis started to play. And you look at this offense, it's such an old school offense. He had no answers for Tom Brady. His clock management is terrible. The whole staff is old and frail. You have a young quarterback, a very dynamic quarterback in a division that's just getting better and better, with Jacksonville being legit now, with the Texans being now in shape to win a Super Bowl if healthy, with Deshaun Watson playing at the caliber that he's doing. You needed to make this move. And now Josh McDaniels goes to the Colts. Absolutely fine. Go hire Steve Wilkes. Go look at maybe Hugh Freeze. Go look for Matt Rule. Go look for a damn good coach. I think Matt Rule can do a great job. I think Hugh Freeze can do a pretty nice job with the Tennessee Titans. I would maybe look at, Kevin O'Connell, who's the quarterback's coach for the Redskins. I think he's a good fit too. So the Titans made a ballsy, big dick move, a really good move by the Tennessee Titans, getting rid of Mike Mularkey, because they aren't going anywhere with that old, stale running game. So Tennessee, great fucking move today. The Colts getting Josh McDaniels. Small market. I think that Chris Ballard somehow is connected to Josh McDaniels. He likes the prospects of Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck is one of the only quarterbacks to beat Peyton Manning in Denver. Andrew Luck also beat the Chiefs. Andrew Luck has won that division before. He's played in AFC championship games. Now, are we going to get Andrew Luck of old? Andrew Luck's a guy who hangs in the pocket, makes big-time throws, but his shoulder's so fucked up right now that who knows who's going to trade for Andrew Luck at this juncture. So, listen, I'm not the biggest McDaniels guy, okay? I think that he's a little testy. I think he failed in Denver, and Denver has pretty decent ownership, and I like John Elway. I think Elway's a good guy and a pretty good talent evaluator, and he made some great decisions getting Wade Phillips in there, acquiring Talib, getting DeMarcus Ware, and building a defense, really, and getting Peyton Manning to sign with Denver. The guy has some serious pull in this league. I think he's a good general manager. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's a Super Bowl runner-up as a general manager. So, listen, I'm not as high on Josh McDaniels, okay? Now let's talk about Matt Patricia. Or no, let's talk about Pat Shurmur for the Giants, okay? As you guys know, I'm kind of a Giants fan on this show. So, here, and I'm going to check out what you guys are talking about. All right, 10 people are on right now. Really appreciate you guys coming on. Robert, I appreciate the comments. Frank Reich is rumored to the Titans. He's kind of old. I like DeFilippo a little bit better. What do the Titans need to do to succeed? I like Steve Wilkes of the Carolina Panthers. The guy just has a great presence about him. He's from that region. He's a defensive coordinator, and that guy he's going to own a locker room. He's young, and I wanted the Giants to get Steve Wilkes over anybody else, okay? Period, end of story. And then again, the Tomlin hot seat question that EV brings up. So all these questions, when you see comments a lot, guys, sometimes it's like you try to get your thoughts in order, and me and Jet Central always talk about this, always staying on topic. I don't think Pat Shurmur's elite. I don't think any Giants fan, a couple of Giants fans actually are jumping out of their seat at Pat Shurmur, okay? Pat Shurmur is like, basically, you had the ugliest breakup from a girl that you've ever had. Like, you're a decent-looking guy, you've dated really hot girls in the past, and then you've just had a girl that, like, cheats on you, and you think you're a good-looking guy, but then this girl, like, cheats on you with, like, a fucking 5 or a real fat dude. That's what Ben McAdoo did to the Giants. Like, the Giants ownership, the Giants think they're hot shit. They hire Ben McAdoo. They won Super Bowls. They had a decent-looking girlfriend, whatever, Tom Coughlin, get this new girlfriend who says she's going to do all this shit. She cheats on you with like a 4, so their self-esteem is really fucking low right now. So then they're like, we need we need stability. That's what Pat Shurmur is. Boring, old stability. You ain't going to win championships that way. It's not a big dick move. It's not a balls to the wall fucking move. The Lions hiring Matt Patricia, that's a fun move. That's a high ceiling. This guy's a nuclear physicist. This guy's never been a head coach. Holy shit. This guy's defense is great every year. Matt Nagy and a college offense and Mark Helfrich to run hurry up and pro style? That's a hell of a move. A young coach. I really like that. So, listen. I believe that the New York Giants, by hiring Pat Shurmur, is an average move. I'd be really, really surprised if the Giants would go far in playoff games with Pat Shurmur. I've seen this guy in Cleveland. He was with Brandon Weeden. I know it's Cleveland. He got to 9 wins. Let's throw a parade for the guy. Nah. Guy's an okay offensive coordinator. George Edwards and that other coordinators run that staff. Is Pat Shurmur a nice guy? Yes. Is Pat Shurmur not an asshole like Ben McAdoo? Yes. Is he nice? Yes. Is he a guy that you would love to, like, have drinks with and talk and chill with? Yeah. Pat Shurmur's an awesome dude. A lot goes into it. Do NFL execs love Pat Shurmur? Yes. Does he have experience? Yes. Is it safe? Yes. Are the Giants desperate and insecure? Hell yes. So that's the move that the Mariners are deciding to do. I want Steve Wilkes or Matt Patricia, and they missed out on those guys. And again, it's not a big balls move, but the Giants right now are just trying to get to 8 or 9 wins. Shurmur last 4 or 5 years, then they maybe take their next swing at somebody big. Javier, now I'm going to start answering a couple of other questions here. I'm going to go on about 10 more minutes, okay? Why can't Blake Bortles be consistent? Good question. The reason why Blake Bortles is inconsistent, his release is way too long. He is decently athletic, but the offensive coordinator actually called a really good game, and Pittsburgh and Keith Butler's been very overrated on defense, and Jacksonville played with nothing to lose. They let the playbook open. They played with pace. The running game worked, and Blake Bortles was decent throwing the ball down the field. He ain't a guy that's going to carry you 35 to 40 times. He throws a wobbly ball. His release is not quick. He's okay. He can be inaccurate. His pacing on the football is not great, but if you're asking Blake to be athletic and make throws down the field, Blake Bortles does have a quiet confidence about him, and Blake Bortles is not afraid of the moment. In fact, in the Fiesta Bowl, he beat Baylor with a last-second drive. The guy is smooth down the stretch, and he's a decent 2-minute drill quarterback. I don't know if he's a franchise quarterback. He had one really good game in the playoffs. He's had a couple games that I've liked where he beat Seattle, where he played against Houston and had a great homestand, but most of his career hasn't been that great, and he's very mechanically flawed. So, yeah, you don't think Steve Wilkes is any good, but I think Steve Wilkes' ceiling is high, and I think that guy controls the locker room, and Mike Tomlin likes him. Jim Schwartz had a job with the Lions. I don't know if Schwartz is a CEO type of personality. That's the one thing. It's personality with Schwartz. And the defense is pretty damn good, but does he know about offense? Does he know how to control the locker room? Or is he kind of a guy that's just a film room guy and not a motivator? Because to be a great coach, I think, and a CEO, you have to be a great motivator unless you're Bill Belichick. So, I think Schwartz is okay. I can admit that he's doing a fantastic, fantastic job. Are the Arizona Cardinals shitting the bed with the head coaching hunt? I think that they're doing an okay job. I'm not in favor of quickly hiring somebody quickly. I think that the worst hire right now is maybe Pat Shurmur. I like Matt Nagy. I like Matt Patricia. McDaniels is probably, maybe Josh McDaniels. I just don't have a lot of confidence in that guy. Alrighty, let's talk a little bit about Mike Tomlin and the Steelers. So they did the onside kick yesterday when they were down by 7, because if they get a first down, the game's over anyway. The onside kick was dog shit, so usually the onside kick goes out to midfield, and then you would still have to punt the ball, and you have a chance at an onside kick. Because, listen, if they kick the ball normally, they wouldn't be in field goal range, but that kicker really fucked things up, okay? So usually an onside kick doesn't equal field goal. And I like the move of the onside kick a lot because you can recover it. It's very rare. But if you give up a first down, you lose anyway. And if they were backed up, they would have thrown it on 3rd and 2 anyway to win the ball game. They would have just done it. So I see both arguments. It was a little early for it. But the way that the Jaguars were running the ball, I would have, the Steelers defense couldn't get a stop. And, a lot of people hate Todd Haley. And the toss play is an indefensible call. That was a shitty call. But I love the way that the Steelers played yesterday. I mean, they had some disastrous plays early in the game with interceptions, but Le'Veon Bell running to the outside against that speed is really tough. I mean, finally, it's so rare how healthy this Jags defense has been and how fast this team has risen. Todd Wash has done an amazing job, and no one even knows his name, really, Todd Wash, because he's not the guy to seek it out. But I look at Jacksonville, and they fly to the football. And the thing that I loved about the Steelers is that they never quit and they went for big balls plays. Like, watching that game, if the Steelers had any semblance of defense, like if Blake Bortles didn't hit TJ Yeldon on that 3rd down, if he didn't hit Cole on that route, when the Steelers were down 7, Big Ben just kept on coming and coming back. And Antonio Brown was everywhere. And Eli Rogers. And the throws on 4th down. I just love the way that Big Ben and Todd Haley played. They didn't sit on their ass. They didn't take a time on the play clock. They went out there, big balls to the wall, and they fucking went for it all in those situations. Deep balls, helicopter dick throws, in the words of Clay Travis. I mean, they went for it all yesterday. I love the way that they played the game. They played with a heavy hand. The Atlanta Falcons were the opposite. They played like complete bitches, complete wussies, okay? They would take up the whole play clock. They'd run it into the line of scrimmage. They'd never take any deep shots. That's why Big Ben showed you yesterday why he is just tremendous. The ability of him to improvise and move, the threat of him hitting long balls. Chiefs fans should be excited because with Pat Mahomes, you finally have that element. And that's why as a quarterback, I like quarterbacks like Cam Newton, like Josh Allen, that can actually throw deep balls and scare the shit out of defenses. I mean, putting up 42 points on Jacksonville, that's Big Ben just having incredible arm strength, and that's Todd Haley saying go, 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 and playing the win. And that's Mike Tomlin encouraging the Steelers to not give up. Down 28-7 for them to come back and keep it competitive is credit to them. I mean, their defensive line is trash. Their defense was trash, and that's the point. They're not the Steelers of old. They're this soft, throw it all over the yard team. But is that Todd Haley's fault? I mean, he was down so many points, and Big Ben made so many plays. It was one of the great performances for Big Ben. So yeah. Marcus Levy, Doug Peterson. I really like Doug Peterson. He really has. I mean, he's a guy that was very unproven. The call at the end of the half to throw it outside to Alshon Jeffrey was the difference in the game. And the guy, like, hitting the ball off of his kneecaps and not picking it off, those 3 points matter. Doug Peterson using his timeouts down the stretch. So, absolutely. Ryan Shazier also there. So, yeah, I like, Shazier, of course, prayers up for him. I hope he can someday get back, and terrible situation there. But listen, guys, it's been fun. I like doing these quick podcasts. I got to talk to my guy, Matt Schenko. I got to talk to Jets Central, UCF Jaguar. I want to get him on the show at some point to talk about the rise of the Jacksonville Jaguars. But today was a 20-minute podcast, and I talked all about the coaching hires. I think that the Titans made a tremendous, tremendous move with a young quarterback. You weren't going to win anything with Malarkey. They're thinking big picture, and for that, I can really, really appreciate. More teams should do that. It's not just the trajectory of the team. They were very fluky to get into the second round of the playoffs. The way that they beat the Arizona Cardinals, or the way that they beat the Chiefs, and I'll tell you what, too. Their defense was just getting sliced up and down the field, 80-year-old defense. And Tom Brady, that was one of the best performances that I've seen Tom Brady ever perform in my life. He was incredible in that game. I mean, the throw across to Amendola, he was machine-like. And you just got to sit back. He is just like a machine or a next-level guy, like at 40 years old, to just be. He was making throws, too, where his first guy wasn't open, and he'd be putting it in spots and leading receivers there. It's a well-oiled machine. It was machine. It was knife through hot butter. The hurry-up. I mean, I guess that's what Colts fans can maybe look forward to. I can't say that Josh McDaniels has done a shitty job. That was one of the best performances of Tom Brady ever. I mean, you can talk about the refs being pretty shitty, but literally, when they got one first down, it's touchdown every time. It was like they were playing a middle school defense. Like anything they wanted, they had. It's like you're playing on rookie mode in Madden. We could score a touchdown at this point. If you play us this way, we always have the answers. You have nothing. And it was if you went to Tennessee, if you went to that game as a Tennessee fan, that's incredibly, incredibly disheartening. It's like you're in Halo 2 and someone's stepping across the map and energy sorting you all day long. And they even know you're going to respond when you die, and they're going to energy sword you again. I mean, Tom Brady, this doesn't even get talked about because he's so damn good, but it was an unbelievable performance by Tom Brady. You could say the Titans suck and whatever. Listen, I'm not a Patriots fan by any means of the imagination, but that was just an incredible, incredible performance by Tom Brady and the Patriots. I think I wanted to mention one other thing here about, like, Tom Coughlin. Do the Jags have a chance? Do they not? The Jags' defense is great. I'm curious to see how they'll play. Leonard's obviously going to have to play great. I don't think they have much of a chance, but after the Steelers game and Blake Bortles, I'm very a little gun shy because that game really screwed with everything that I had in place. I thought Blake Bortles was trash from the Buffalo game. I went heavy Steelers all day long. And the Pittsburgh defense really let it down. That's what happened. The Jags came out there again. Their defense was absolutely incredible. And maybe this looks like a Bucs or a Ravens defense. I mean, there's no holes. Miles Jack's being used perfectly. Puzzleski, Telvin Smith, Calais Campbell, Ndakwe. They're fast at every position. Boye and Ramsey. Church, veterans. I love Campbell and Church because they're veterans. And Tom Coughlin knows the value of that. And he knows how to prepare. I think the Patriots will win. I'm pretty confident in that. But, again, I don't know if I want a hot take all over the place. And then with the other game, that Eagles defensive line, the Eagles defensive line can win them a Super Bowl themselves. I mean, to win against the Patriots or to win against anybody, the greatest equalizer, it's like when you're an underdog in college basketball and you have great three-point shooters in a March Madness one-game scenario. When you have a great defensive line that can get home every time and you're sitting against Case Keenum, who really struggled in the second half versus the Saints, I really think that the Eagles can get after Keenum, and I really think that the Eagles at home with that crowd, I mean, it's not like Coleman and Freeman were running all that well. So, I mean, Adam Thielen is just going to have to feast. He's going to have a tremendous game. Adam Thielen is going to have to be the difference in the game, and they have to keep feeding it to Latavius Murray, and their defense is going to have to get turnovers to win that game. But you look at the Eagles, very, very good chance to win that NFC Championship. I believe, though, yesterday, too, that the Saints were the better football team. I think that the Saints, they butchered scoring opportunities with the interception. Well, I think it was Andrews and Dejo made an amazing play on the football. But Drew Brees, amazing in the second half. No running game. The throw to Willie Snead on fourth down was incredible. The throws to Josh Hill all over the map were just awesome. Drew Brees proved yesterday why he's a Hall of Famer. He was locked in. He was up against a great defense, down 17 on the road. He put them in position to win the game. Unbelievable respect to that guy. Now, you look at also the interception at the 15-yard line. The Saints, I think, were the better team. If they played that game 100 times, Saints would win 65%. It was just a disastrous first half. Kamara was great. Willie Snead missed a wide-open throw to Kamara on 3rd and 1, when they also could have ran Ingram. So it was a ballsy call that I didn't like at the time. So a lot of close calls in that game for the Saints. And Kai Forbath just made incredible kick after incredible kick in that game, too. Vikings played very well. I think the Saints were the better team, but, you know, you got to give the Vikes credit for just battling to the end. And their defense in the first half, it was an incredible first half that the Vikings played. So, anyway, guys, thank you for joining the podcast. Appreciate all of your input and everything. Excited for draft season. Excited to talk with my guys and try to get them on this podcast and everything. And next year, I'm also going to come up with a list of teams that I'll just start doing film reviews for, along with the Niners too. So anyway, I want to jump on out of here. You guys were great. Take care and see ya.